Right, we are back. We're speaking to MUTHIROA KARIARA. He is a gentleman who ran on a joint ticket with Jeff Kaluyu last time in 2017, came back and was running for president this particular 2022 season. And 2 days ago, we saw that he went to before the IBC and they put an end to it. I don't know how else we can say.
Well, just say they trashed my dream. But that's not really what's going to happen. They only deferred it.
Yeah. Now, I saw something on the internet, MUTHIROA. And
yes.
Actually, last night I was looking at it. I had another show here last night, and in between,
yes,
something popped up from the IBC. You know, it was being shared on groups.
Yes.
That, you know, usilalenja, something like that. Usilalenja, awandio, presidential candidates wako. And it had a list of all the presidential candidates.
I have not seen that. So there's a message.
There's a message going around, and let me tell you what.
Wow.
And it has got the numbers
of
all the presidential candidates.
I didn't know that.
That
explains
not just yours.
And that explains why my phone has been ringing off the hook. Because
and I wondered.
I can barely use my phone. Every second, there's an incoming call. In my inbox right now, both on WhatsApp and the direct messaging, I have thousands of messages. People asking for help. I'm glad you brought that to my
because
attention.
I was concerned about the breach of privacy.
Wow.
It had everyone's number. Honorable Raila's, His Excellency Ruto, yours. Anyone who ran for president, their number is out there.
Then you understand why I have a problem with how IEBC is handling this whole process. Because if they shared my personal data, my phone number should be private. Then what else have they shared out there?
And I wondered if it was fake. I'm trying to see so I can just ask you the last digits whether they're actually yours.
Wow.
Because I wondered, is this fake? Is this fake?
Just confirm. I didn't know about that.
You know, and
but it explains why I'm being harassed, because I would call this harassment.
Mm-hmm.
And you see, these are innocent people, because if there is a message saying silale njaa awa ndo viongozi,
awa ndio viongozi wako, don't sleep hungry, because they will. Let me see.
Wow.
Where is the IBC message? As I get, let me ask you one question. Did you have to put your? Of course you did. You had to give out your numbers, and they had to, you know.
On the forms that we provided to IEBC, there's a requirement of adding your phone number besides ID number and all the other personal details.
Mm-hmm.
So Levi, you tell me, if the commission is not ready to protect the details of a presidential aspirant, do they have the capacity or willingness to protect the data of the millions of Kenyans out there that willingly gave their ID copies? What's going to happen to all those ID copies that aspirants gave to the commission? Or worse, those who remained with copies at home as they processed what they were going to give IEBC.
Yeah, there's always a question of you know, the issue with the data and things like that, because that's something that's all of us worry about in terms of release of data. But I thought this was quite a breach. I think I've just found. Let me ask you something. Is your number ending with a 641? Yes.
In fact, I now don't have to hide it because it's already in the public domain. That number, 0721 944 641, that's my number. IEBC gave it out. So imagine who has access to the ID copy you gave in support of a candidate that's running in this election.
Yeah.
Should you ask that question? Do you know what they do? They blab, legalese at you, blah, 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 quote provisions of the law, and then throw an essay at you. and they think that they've solved the problem. But the problem is real. Currently, my privacy has been breached. And it's not just my own.
How confident were you about the IEBC being a fair umpire before the process?
I had my doubts, but I'm a strong believer in building institutions. So all along, I have had to be confident that the IEBC, if supported, can deliver free, fair, and credible elections. But I have now arrived at a point where it's not enough to be confident just because we have no option. Maybe we need to be thinking about alternatives now.
Yeah, there are others, like Ruben Kigame, like Jimmy Wanjigi, like Ekuru Okot, who was here, who have come together to, you know, and they say they are going to go to court.
Yes.
Are you planning to join them? Are you planning to do this alone? Are you planning to do anything about it? Or have you just, you know, thrown your hands up and walked away from it?
Our efforts will connect at some point. They are seeking to be on the ballot to run in this election. But MUTHIROA KARIARA has given
no
up
longer seeking
on running for elective office under the given commission and electoral environment.
Yeah. But MUTHIROA, some would say, you know, you're a young man and you ran as deputy president, you know, and people would say, maybe you are biting too big. Maybe you should have started as MP or MCA or you know, senator. What would you say to that?
Are you saying that because
like scale down, you know, like enter and then grow in it? What would you say?
Are you saying that?
Do people ask you that?
Yes, they do. But are you saying that because I am young, then my rights should be trampled upon? The Constitution says that if I'm qualified, I should run.
When people will tell you clearly you're intelligent, you could be useful, you know, somewhere, like, you know, without trying to be...
And I'm trying to be useful, like, in the best way possible, because great leaders have stood for office before. MCA, MP, senator, even governor. The one place that people have shied away from has been the presidency. Yeah. And yet that's where the rot is. Yeah, the office that affords the tools and instruments that can bring about the socio-economic transformation needed in Kenya is the office of the president. We are a top-down society where instructions from above sometimes, which is almost often, all the time, even no matter how...
And we agree on that. The presidency is definitely the place to change things. You know, it's like me today. I may really desire to go and live in Karen.
Yes. But
I may not have the capacity to do so. You know, or even though it is my right to do so. To live anywhere I want.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
But it would be probably out of reach because of their ability to do so. Some would say, you know, do you have the ability to run this campaign in every county? Would you maybe look at it and say, I'd like to be president, but I because of the capacity at that moment in time to be president, let me, you know, like myself, I say, let me go live in Eastlands and build my way into the presidency. You get what I'm saying?
What fuels that kind of narrative is the commercialization of our politics, where they say, kama una pesa, enda upike mandazi. But if we take money out of the equation, then all that's going to matter is the quality and competence of the leader, which I believe I have got. Now, you look at capacity. How do we measure those who have come before us? Most of them had served as members of parliament, as cabinet ministers. But how far did they take us? If having experience means that I'll be in a position where I'll be an agent between the government and selfish interests, the cartels which we so often refer to, then I do not need that kind of an experience. Look at those visionary leaders who begin at those lower levels, but by the time they go through the system, they are tainted, they are bitter, They are different. They no longer believe in Project Kenya because of what they have been made to go through to survive. Kenya needs
So you don't
a new
want to
voice.
pass through that pipe. It's already slimy.
It's slimy, it's filthy, and there's no escaping it once you take the first step down that road. So if Kenya indeed wants someone that can provide the answers for the problems that we grapple with, we need to look elsewhere. We know that those answers won't come from the two horses that are leading this race at the moment. Maybe.
Yeah, but does it strike you that it's a possibility that one of them will be president?
Well, what bothers me the most is that on one end, we have a ticket that is led by yesteryear's reformers who right now are very comfortable to be beneficiaries of an unjust system and process. That shatters me. That they are seated back waiting to reap from the fruits of these ethno-majoritarian democracy that we're struggling with.
And
They fought
on
for
the other hand,
democracy. On the other hand, we have, I don't have very kind words for the person because he's an imposter, a billionaire who his whole life has served in government. Yet today, he's okay fooling Kenyans that he's a hustler. Those are the things we needed to face.
so if any of them were to win and offer you a position, even to work with their government, what would you say?
Now that I'm not running for any elective office, I'm looking for a different way to fix this nation. If we can agree on a deal that will deliver on that one metric, even if it's going to take a longer time, I would consider working with them. But
Okay.
going
So
through
it's
an
great that
election,
you haven't
that's what I'm not
totally
doing.
thrown in your hands up in the air.
I hope that Kenyans will wake up, because the choice we have right now is an impossible choice. That Kenyans have to choose which of two wolves will divide them for dinner. And the most disappointing thing is they are happy. Instead of kicking and screaming as they are dragged to the cooking pot that is already boiling, they are celebrating and chanting names around these people who over time have misruled them, lied to them, broken promises. That shatters me. We should awaken, because you look at our literacy levels, it says that we're doing fairly well. We should be able to tell between black and white. We should be able to know which is good and which is bad. But here we are, a society that says, give us our Barabbas. You can do whatever you want with your Jesus.
What would you say to Mr. Wafula Chebukati this morning? What would be your message to him?
Wafula Chebukati needs, well, the IEBC chair needs to know that adherence to the rule of law and fidelity to the Constitution is paramount for the deliverance of a great nation. You cannot discriminate against any candidates because the results will be invalid. Do the right thing. And each time, as much as our Constitution says we will have elections after every 5 years, ask yourself, is it still an election when it is not free, fair, and credible? What's the point if it does not meet that threshold? Do not use me as a yardstick. This nation belongs to us. It will be here long after we are gone. Let us discharge our duty with the spirit of patriotism that pushed our forefathers to fight for this nation.
Oh. What about your supporters? All those guys, you know, those guys, I'm thinking about those people who went and looked for these 2,000 signatures. Must be very disappointing. I've worked in a campaign before, I know what it means.
I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude for the sacrifice they made and tell them that we will be back. But first, we must fix the system. To badilishe system.
You don't feel like you maybe shouldn't have thrown in the towel?
We gave it our best. We gave it to the very last day, to the very last second. We gave it our best. We shed sweat, tears, and blood to get as far as we got.
Mm-hmm.
Our dream is not broken. It has just been deferred. Let's first fix the system, and then we'll bounce back bigger and better.
Always a pleasure, Muthiroa. You said Professor Wajakoya is the only revolutionary remaining.
Yes, in this race, Professor George Luchiri Wajakoya is the only person I'm wholly aligned with ideologically.
Yeah.
The other candidates...
You know, people only see him as a guy who is supporting weed.
But you see, he is supporting weed because of its commercialization, because of its industrial capability, because of its medicinal value. And I'm saying we have tried all these other options that have been offered to us. The one route we've not tried could be the bangi route.
I can't believe this. You know it's illegal.
Well,
on this show.
I'm not saying you smoke bangi. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't say that. Do not misquote me.
Okay. Because my producer is also petrified.
But what I'm saying is, you have dubbed him the bangi candidate when that was just one
of the many things that
he has offered out there.
Yeah, I understand. I'm saying it's a narrative out there. It's not my narrative. It's
by the way, he's not for smoking the weed. It's for those other reasons that I have stated here.
Yeah. I'd love to have a chat with him.
And by the way, cigarette smoking, which is legal in Kenya, is far worse than the other stuff that you're vilifying the guy for. Which are invalid, by the way.
I hear you. Oh, I tell you, interesting. And as with, you spoke Shembeteng, was it?
Yeah.
Hey,
so you need me to...
We'll give us a parting shot in this strange language.
Well, I will tell Wambutula, anaitwa Wafu Mbutula Chebu.
You changed his name.
I want you to get how it's called. Wafumbutula Chebukambati. That we are going to fight for Electrombosa Justice CMBC. As in, I'll be fighting together with my team.
For electoral justice.
Yes.
I hear you.
He needs to support us.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Sasa tumefinish.
Because if you
how do you say we are
continue...
finished? Tumefinishingi sasa.
Don't go there. It gets messy when you put in too much work. For a very long time, we excluded women from the leadership equation.
Yes.
And this nation did not have the best.
Yeah.
At the moment, we know we have excluded the youth, the young people, and basically the poor from leadership because we have commercialized our politics.
I do agree with you on that one. We've excluded especially the poor. And it's sad.
Very sad.
That you have to have a lot of money to get somewhere.
Yes. Walio na ari na maarifa hawana mamlaka na madaraka leo hii.
Yeah, that's a sad
Lakini walio na madaraka wengi wao hawana ari na maarifa ya kuongoza Kenya.
Yeah.
Let's not take ourselves
Very
to the slaughter. Kenya will be built by Kenyans for Kenyans. or we will lose this nation to those that treasure what we have here. And within our lifetime, you and I will become servants, or much worse, slaves in our own motherland.
Yeah, very sobering note. Thank you for coming, MUTHIROA.
I appreciate the invitation.
Yeah, I pray that you do not lose the fight. We still need guys like you. Like the country needs, because not all of us can run for president. So we really admire those who can take the bull by the horns like that.
Thank you.
And Pole for the ordeal. I hope things get better out there. MUTHIROA KARIARA, presidential aspirant 2022. We'll be talking, of course, a lot more even as the days go by in terms of politics and 2022 and what's going to be happening. And you're always welcome to come back.
Thank you.
Yeah. God bless you. Have a wonderful day. Stay tuned for Leah coming up with Lawsuit.